Hello, Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will understand about the vagus nerve physiology. So, the vagus nerve is the three functional pathway we will understand. So, the vagus nerve is the cranial nerve 10. The parasympathetic efferent pathway from the central nervous system to the periphery. This is the efferent pathway. While the motor efferent pathway is the central nervous system to the smooth muscle. The afferent pathway is the periphery to the central nervous system. So it means the afferent and efferent nerves involved, both nerves, is the cranial nerves. It will move toward the brain or away from the brain. 80% is the afferent while the 20% is efferent. Here is the person content brain. So the efferent sensory nerves, which that is basically the vagal nerve from the thoracic region and abdominal region, and it is basically is a lot of branches of the vagal nerve. Afferent motor nerve is basically also targeted. So the afferent is the periphery to the central nervous system. This is the cranial nerves 10, vagal nerve, and this is the jugular foramen are present here where it arises. This is the inferior view of the brain. The vagal mean the Latin word mean wandering. The vagal nerve 10th pair of cranial nerve, the cranial nerve 10, is the distribution throughout the body and it is in the form of pair. And the 75% is the parasympathetic, remember. This 75% is the parasympathetic while the 25% is the mix. Parasympathetic innervation we will understand in this video and also the sympathetic, but we will understand because the 80% is the afferent, so we will understand about the afferent cranial nerves, CNS to the periphery. So this is the glossopharyngeal nerve. This is the gnawing nerve will interconnect, and in this way the GIT, gastrointestinal stomach, the digestion, secretion, and peristalsis is involved. Also, this interconnect with the vagal nerve. This is also the target to the heart tissue, the cardiac, for the input increase. In this way, the heartbeat will be slow, the bradycardia. The accessory central cranial nerve, accessory cranial nerves, which that is present is here, and this is basically the efferent and afferent collectively, which that is used for the sensation and the mobility of the organ. Like this is the sensory. The sensory nerves a target to the nasal, target to the head region also, as well as target to the mouth, lips, and target to the basically the facial expression, eye contact, speaking expression, taste sensation, and epiglottis to the viscera. While the laryngopharynx and syrinx for speaking is very important due to the parasympathetic innervation of the vagal nerve. On the other hand, the lungs is used for the increase the respiration and the increase of volume of the lungs. For liver, the increase the secretion and in glycogenesis and the lipogenesis of the adipocyte and secretion of the insulin. On the other hand, the urinary system control and excretion, the blood pressure regulation due to the RAS activation, and the adrenaline response to a danger situation. It means it is the sympathetic also. The parasympathetic means the rest and digest, while the sympathetic means the fight and flight response. Both function involved for the vagal nerve. This is the large intestine contain ascending, transverse, descending, sigmoid colon, and rectum and anus. While this is the stomach, duodenum is the small intestine, duodenum, jejunum, and ileum, while this is the large intestine. Whenever you will eat food, this food is basically enter into the stomach when it is during the digestion of the protein, the stretching of the wall of the stomach will lead to transmit the signal, and in this way it will sense through a brain. The sensory afferent nerve will lead to give the signal for the digestion increase via efferent vagal nerve, and this vagal nerve will lead to food intake, and in this way will lead to produce the from the enterochromaffin and enteroendocrine cell to produce the a lot of endocrine hormone like GIP will target to the pancreas, and in this way it will release the insulin, will bind with a specific tissue to enter the glucose into the cell for normal metabolism and energy balance, energy homeostasis. Anyhow, this is the gut brain axis. Secretion and digestion involved, as well as absorption of food. While on the other hand, it is the sensory and the motor for the increase the peristaltic movement for the digestion and the sensation of the food through vagal nerve, the sensory afferent. This is the appendix, and this is a sensory vagal afferent in the cecum for identification of the microbiome. If the hungry microbiome, it will sensory nerve will transmit the signal to the brain through vagal nerve, the afferent. If the energy is more and waste are present, so the stimulation of the appetite can be decreased, the mobility due to metabolites of microbiota, and the improve mood and relax whenever the cecum, the large intestine, contain waste or food. In this way no need to eat. A cholinergic anti-inflammatory pathway has been described through vagal nerves fibers, this which is able to damp peripheral inflammation and to decrease the intestinal permeability, thus very probably modulating microbiota composition, and in this way it will lead to also sense the microbiota composition, and it is also important for the homeostasis of the microbiota, as well as it is also improve the mood. It means the microbiota is good, and the metabolites of the microbiota will trigger the sensory afferent vagal nerve for identification and justification through brain, through central nervous system. Less working of vagal nerve is inflammatory bowel disease, diabetes, depression, post-traumatic stress, cytokines production, and epilepsy, as well as autoimmune disorders. The function summarization in this video we will understand now. It is also the vagal nerve involved for the speeching, breathing, heartbeat, swallowing, taste, and the circulation of the blood circulatory system improve. The parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system involved for the gut health and the mobility, bladder control, and fertility, sleeping, relax, and immunity, as well as relationship of love, relationships and love, mental health. So it's all thing is due to the afferent and efferent parasympathetic and sympathetic nerve innervation for the give the relaxation and the fight and flight response on the basis of the requirement, like the circadian rhythm, the complex decision making, creativity, leadership, and learning. It is also involved due to the vagal nerves, relaxation as well as sleeping and circadian rhythm, biological stress, and the microbiome stress. The impairment of vagal nerve will lead to, due to the smoking, alcohol, anxiety, stress, depression, and overworking. Stimulation is due to the exercise, diet, fasting, omega 3 fatty acid, and pre and probiotic, as well as yoga. Anyhow, I hope you make sense about the parasympathetic innervation, and in this way how our body can control due to the vagal nerves. Vagalness is very important and it will lead to cause the digestion, a lot more things. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. For this time, bye.